Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are from. Thanks everybody who's jumping on here so far. We're stoked that you are joining us today. And I'd love to see who's joining us today, actually. If you are listening, let us know where you're at. Are you in the city of trees? Are you somewhere else? Are you overseas? We'd love to hear where you are from. Got a guest on deck, Kevin Maloney, living the dream. That's right, Kevin. We should be. All of us should be living the dream. It's part of what we're after. It's part of what we're out here to share with you as well, to help us live that dream. So my name is Gordy Tamao. For those of you that aren't familiar with who I am the founder of Digital Unicorn, and we are a software company agency that helps with digital marketing and really helping businesses get themselves equipped for the digital space. And I have a guest that's joining me today, a good friend of mine, none other than Annie Garrett. She is the founder of Happy Idaho, and some of you might know who she is. If you know who she is, you can give her some love in the chat and give her some rah-rah as she gets ready to jump on here. But we're super stoked to have you with us here today, and we're going to be covering a bunch of different things. I'll be showing you a little bit of an overview of what that looks like, and we know that you're going to walk away with not just some cool stuff to hear, but some actual practical things that you can implement into your business and operations today. All right. So without further ado, let me bring Annie. All the love for Annie. See, they're shouting you out already, Annie. What's happening? How you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Annie. Thank you for the introduction, Gordy. I
Yeah.
founded Happy Idaho just this year, actually. We just opened up business. And for those of you guys who don't know, we are a pop-up farmers market. So we've been popping up all over the city of trees. We've been loving it. We've been having a blast. But through that, I realized that there was a need. And a lot of that need was just bolstering up that digital footprint for small businesses. So I'm so excited to have met so many really awesome vendors, but also excited to find a niche and be able to bring so much goodness to you guys. So I'm so excited to be here with Gordy today. He is a mastermind and he's helped Happy Idaho so much. So this collaboration is going to be a lot of fun. We are so excited to get into what we've got going on today.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to have some fun. And, you're going to get to see kind of raw and uncut because, we got some things that we kind of mapped out. We're like, hey, we're just going to kind of free flow it as well. And so you're going to see kind of real time what it looks like to actually do some of this stuff, just like it was if it was you. And so we really want you to put yourself in the driver's seat of what this looks like, to be the person that's actually doing this stuff. And if some of it's already familiar for you, then wonderful, great. Share the knowledge, because that's part of what we're trying to do as well, is lower the barrier to entry into AI, into technology, and tying all these pieces together. Because if you're anybody's anybody, you already know that there's so much change going on in the world of technology. Sometimes it's hard to keep up, but there's a lot of people who maybe are not as confident in these areas. And so it's about sharing the knowledge as well. So we are going to give you just a brief kind of overview of what that's going to look like today. If you obviously registered for it, so you've seen some of this stuff on the landing page about what this is going to be about. And this isn't going to be like a huge deep dive into any one of these areas. It's going to be more of like kind of a recap of these areas. And we'll be doing subsequent webinars that we hope you'll join us on as we deep dive into some of these topics, but then ancillary ones as well. But to give you a little bit of a preview of what this is going to look like, we're going to jump into helping you find and understand how to target an ideal client, the people that you're after for your products and services that you're trying to share with, or a problem you're trying to solve for a particular demographic. And then we're going to jump into, the content plan side of things, right? And he's going to jump into a lot of this stuff, and I'm going to kind of be here to support and facilitate some of this stuff, and then give you a tangible example of what that looks like with our tool that we use. You might use a different tool for some of these things, and that's completely fine. I'm going to show you an example of what it looks like in ours, but as a whole, the practicality is about the same. Email sequencing. If you're not taking advantage of emails and your list that you got, then you definitely are missing out on something. And we're going to encourage you on how to do that and how to make it easy for you. SEO blogging and content repurposing. One of the low-hanging fruits that many people kind of overlook sometimes is blogging. And sometimes it's just because it's not done accurately. It's not done with the right lens in mind. And we're going to show you some tools and some ways of how to actually fine-tune that. Okay. And I'm going to wrap this whole thing up for you in a nice, pretty bow prior to Thanksgiving, probably not Thanksgiving, prior to Christmas, and let you get on with the rest of your day. So, with that in mind, let me hand it over here, if I could, Annie. Let's kickstart things off, and I'll let you jump in. You let me know when you need me to share your screen and whatnot, and we'll do that.
Yeah, you can go ahead and share it right now, Gordy.
Okay. You'll probably want to switch tabs there. There we go.
Okay. You guys see this? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the PDF that we have in the chat for you guys. I'm just going to scroll down to point number 1 here, building a client persona. Building your ideal client persona here is really important because it's going to help you figure out who you're talking to, and that's going to curate your content and the voice of your content. So we have some prompts here that these are really awesome to plug into ChatGPT. So I'm just going to copy this and throw this into the prompt, and we're going to fill this in together. So this prompt is, I own a business that specializes in products. My target audience is, and then you're going to ask ChatGPT to generate a detailed client persona that includes the age range and gender, the income level. Maybe you want to know a little bit more about their spending habits. That could help you curate a sale or a special promotion. Learning their lifestyle choices and their hobbies could be really beneficial depending on if you're a health and wellness company. That is going to be awesome. Amanda, I see you in the chat. I know you've got a really awesome list of wines that are glyphosate free. So this is going to help you build that ideal client list or that ideal client persona. So we are just going to fill in some of this here. When Gordy and I did a test on this, we just did beeswax candles. So I think we're going to do that again today because that was fun.
Cool.
Or, let me jump into the chat. We have Kevin and Amanda here. So we could have some fun with Kevin's business. Kevin, do you want to do hemp press juice or do you want to do the CBD company? I'm going to call you out.
I was going to say, for anybody that's bold enough to share and they want us to do this real time with your audience or your business in mind, hey, you can take it and you can actually apply it. So it's kind of a bonus, if you would. You don't have to, but there we go. Kevin's all about it.
Kevin wants to do CBD.
Okay.
You can forgive me later for calling you out. Okay. You guys specialize in some pain relief. If I can spell. I know stress relief. I have some of the CBD myself. And then our target audience, I feel like eco-conscious, maybe we can swap that out. Health-conscious individuals or families looking for healthier swaps to over-the-counter pain medication. Cool. You guys can see just how great I don't spell. But I love that ChatGPT can help us out with that.
Yeah, it doesn't discriminate for bad spelling, so you're okay.
Okay.
Is there creams in this too, or is it just tinctures? Like,
oh, you guys do have some creams, don't you? We want to know what motivates them to purchase products since this is a product-based business. So we're going to plug that in and see what ChatGPT gives us. So they even named your ideal client here. And we've got some demographics, lifestyle choices, and hobbies right off the bat. ChatGPT generated that so quickly. So now we have a better understanding of who your ideal client is. You can go even further and you can ask them outright, who's your ideal client? And then I really like the next one. I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's plug that in. Okay, so now you've got an even more fine-tuned ideal client profile. So this is going to be really not quite the overview, but this is going to be a little bit more pinpointed onto who your client your ideal client is. And then this is a little bit more of a overview. So now we're gonna plug in, this is probably one of my favorites, just because I make so much content for a few different businesses, and this is probably the first prompt that I use when I'm getting on with a new business. Maybe they don't know their ideal client yet. This is the perfect prompt for that.
Mhm. So while Andy's writing that out, just another point of clarification here. This is a really good start on just getting the wheels turning. It's really like a brainstorming mechanism, right? For those of you that do have ChatGPT or a subscription to it, you can obviously leverage different GPTs. We have one. We're not going to go into it today. This is more of a basic rundown, but just know that what Annie's doing here is really kind of preparing the groundwork for some background. It's like research, right? ChatGPT is going out, scouring the web, pulling in info, and it's giving you a baseline for what to build off of. Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, Gordy's got a really awesome ChatGPT prompt that he's built in ChatGPT 4, which is the paid version. We're giving you guys the free version, so there's no gatekeeping. Free is like
Yeah.
the lowest barrier of entry. So we're giving you guys a lot of goods here. This is really cool. So this ChatGPT prompt even spit out the buying behavior. So this will help you in the future when we start talking about blogging or email sequencing. You will understand that their buying behavior, right? It starts with small purchases. So maybe they want to try out your tincture or their cream before they start investing or sharing with their family, before they really commit to a purchase and really switch to that CBD instead of that over-the-counter pain medication. This ideal client really appreciates promotions, bundles, or subscription options. That's really cool. So if you are like Kevin and you have a CBD company, a lot of these people who are making that transition from over-the-counter pain medication, they probably have some stockpiles of different pain medication like Aleve, Advil, Tylenol, and you can help showcase how you can over time replace those, and you could offer subscriptions at a discount. There's so many things that you guys can do with all the information here. They tell you how to discover your clients, like through social media, recommendations from friends. I know, Kevin, you do a lot of market, so I'm sure that's where you find a lot of your ideal clients too. This is really cool. I love getting to know a little bit more about the lifestyle, the hobbies, and the interest. It's really cool. So now that we have a beautiful summary here, we know our ideal client, Emily. She's busy. She juggles work, family. She's really into self-care. But she does experience back pain and stress from her really busy lifestyle. So she's tired of taking over-the-counter pain medication and she wants something with some health benefits. So now we kind of have an understanding. I feel like from this little summary, we would be able to pick out her frustrations, her desires, and her challenges.
Mm-hmm.
But just for the prompt, we're going to plug this in to see if there's anything extra that is not in that summary that is going to be able to help us dig into this a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is great because the more you can understand who you're serving, the audience that you're after, the more you can fine tune what it is that your message is, and you know how to solve the problems that people are after. So this is good.
Absolutely. Point number 3 sticks out to me right away. Confusion and overwhelm with CBD products. Just from being in the market space and frequenting markets, I've walked past apothecary booths, apothecaries that do like herbal medicine, and even some like plant medicine alternative booths. And I've heard people saying, oh, I don't know a lot about this tincture, or I don't know a lot about this plant. So I'm scared. Or like, this is too much information. I don't want to risk it. I'd rather talk to my doctor. And that gives you so much space to be able to educate your audience on what is going on, especially when you're bringing in something completely new that's a little bit, off the norm. There's going to be confusion. And so you can really fine tune your message to just cut right through that confusion really quick. And now, okay, so that was the common frustrations that we just saw. Now moving into desires. So I feel like this is something that a lot of people are after. The safe, natural, effective relief. They want improved quality of life. They want knowledge and empowerment. So that knowledge and empowerment in point 3 ties in really well with that confusion and overwhelm. So you see, just from a simple prompt, we asked ChatGPT one question here. and it gave us all this information to now take and plug into our next prompt. And we're going to move into our content prompt. Content is probably one of my favorite things. If you guys know me, you know that I love creating content. I love talking to the camera.
Mhm.
It's my thing. So this is my very robust content prompt that I have here. And I think you guys are really going to like this. It's going to give you a really awesome takeaway for your business. So I like to start it out with ChatGPT by asking them a question and kind of positioning the algorithm to be a strategic business partner. I know Gordy has some tips for this. He
Mhm.
likes to ask, imagine if, right?
Mhm.
So we can try that too.
Yeah. So to Annie's point here, excuse me, this is only as good as what you tell it to do and what you're programming this uh, ChatGPT to do for you. And so you got to look at it that way. It's sometimes it's hard to imagine that, that you're actually telling this machine what to do and how to imagine itself and what it's doing, but you really got to kind of dissect what it is that you want it to do. And so I do like to use some certain prompts, like imagine that you are, a professional XYZ who specializes in XYZ, and this is what I want you to do. Because then it really fine tunes what it is that you're asking it to do, and it causes less refinement that you got to do afterwards. Otherwise, it might just spit out something very generic. And if we're trying to get kind of really down to the nitty gritty in as least amount of prompts as possible, then that's a helpful tip for you. But yeah.
Thanks, Gordy.
Hmm.
So here is where you would insert all your product information. So you can plug in your website and all your products into ChatGPT and it'll go even more in depth. So right now we're just going to leave that out and I'm going to leave it general at CBD products. So the response that we get will be a little bit more general, but that's okay. We would like to, okay, so I plugged in, I'm working on social media posts for TikTok. TikTok is taken off right now. Everybody's talking about TikTok. So that is the social media platform that we're going to choose today for ChatGPT to give us some content ideas. So you can exchange this TikTok for any other social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever you want the content for, or you could even add a comma and throw in a couple more social media platforms on there.
Hmm.
And I want, let's see, we would like a number of posts broken down. I'm going to say I want a month's worth of posts broken down as follows. So I'm going to leave the example in here. So 20% direct sales with an interesting bit of product information and a link for more information. 30% funny or entertaining things. People love funny advertisement. It works really well for me and my clients. Maybe not for your business. So tailor it to your business. So if you guys aren't into funny marketing, just take that out and leave entertaining. And then we want 20% questions or polls. That's going to be really good engagement content. And then 30% useful tips or information that's going to be relevant to your audience. So you're going to be able to scroll up here. And if you want to get a little bit more specific, you could take some of these points and plug them into this prompt. It's really plug and play. You guys can do so much with these prompts.
Yeah, just another plug too, in case you hadn't seen from earlier, we had it included. Annie included a link here. So this PDF guide here, this is where she's gathering the prompts and entering this into ChatGPT. So if you want to follow along while she's doing it, you could do that and tailor it to your business, or just keep it on hand so you know what to do after the fact if you want to just observe.
This is cool. Okay, week 1, they've got 4 posts for us already. So your direct sales post, the video idea they're going to give you, the ultimate chill and a drop.
Mm.
This just gets me excited to start creating content. So it's going to keep pumping out stuff and it's going to give you guys content suggestions for everything that you had plugged in. And so if you're someone who has struggled with content creation, this is going to be what pushes you through that wall. Or also, I know a lot of people call it like the fear of a blank page.
Hmm.
This will help you get past that fear of a blank page. I don't know what to post. I don't know who I'm talking to. Well, now you know you're talking to Emily and you're going to talk to her about how much she hates pills, how much she hates her over the counter medication. You're going to talk to her about maybe some signs that you need CBD. Earlier, we read that she's got some back pain and stress from the really busy lifestyle that she lives. You can ask her, your ideal client, how do you unwind? Are you having a glass of wine at the end of the night? Or would you rather have a healthy alternative and take a CBD tincture? Then you're not killing your liver. And now we're moving into week 4. So in just the matter of a minute, ChatGPT gave us a whole month's worth of content. And then it even went to give you bonus content ideas about trending challenges. I think that's really cool. You can even feature some customer testimonials, a did you know series. That's really cool. I think there's a lot of things people don't know about CBD. A lot of people get it confused with THC and they're a little bit wary. Is it going to show up on a drug test? How do I take it? How often can I take it? So this gives you a lot of inspiration to get started making content. And of course, the seasonal themes. We've got Christmas coming up. Winter stress got you down. CBD is your cozy companion. Guys, that is so stinking cute. I would not have been able to come up with that myself that quickly. So that's why I love ChatGPT. All right. So now we have even more prompts in here, and you guys can play around with these. We're just going to take a couple of these right now, hooks and call to actions. These are going to be some of your attention grabbers. A hook is part of that. Did you know? A hook is going to be that attention grabbing content that when somebody's scrolling on TikTok, they come across your video and you hook them. You want to hook them in like the first 1 to 3 seconds before they continue to scroll. So you want something really attention grabbing. So let's ask ChatGPT to write 10 attention grabbing hooks about our CBD products. And then we're going to ask them to create 5 call to actions to let's promote a holiday sale just because 'tis the season. So to go along with that content that it gave you, you're now going to have a hook that you can sandwich in between your script at the beginning and the end. I like to put the call to actions at the end. So right off the bat, we've got some really awesome hooks. Tired of popping pills? Discover the natural relief that you've been missing. So right away, you're talking to your ideal client, their frustrations with the over-the-counter pain medication, and you are giving them a solution. So you're posturing your business as the perfect solution for their frustration. And that's what we really want to do to help you guys with these prompts is we want to help you guys figure out the frustrations, the desires of your ideal client so that you can directly communicate with them, that you can speak to them on your socials, on your blogs, in your emails. And then we've got some call to actions here that are going to promote that holiday sale. Of course, you can swap these out for any other sale that you're running any other time of the year. But right off the bat, we've got natural relief for everyone on your list. I know natural relief, anything natural right now is popping off and blowing up right now because we've got Maha coming in office in 2025. So everybody's looking for natural. They're looking for healthy. So I think it would be really cool to jump on that train, jump on that trend and market really heavily towards positioning yourself as a natural solution.
Yeah, that's great stuff. So while Annie's getting ready to pop into the next phase here, I just want to recap because this is a lot that we've thrown at you here, and you might have been scrambling to type it yourself or following along here. But what we started off with was this audience persona, right? We started coming up with an audience persona, jumping into some hooks, calls to action, a content planner, and she's got a whole lot more. So she's going to keep the train moving here. But if you got questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. And if we have time at the end, we'll answer as many as we can. Keep it rolling, Annie.
Cool. All right. So you guys have more prompts in the PDF. So we are going to let you guys play with those and we're going to move into email sequencing prompts. And we also have some examples. So You guys, emails, I know Gordy touched on this earlier, but they are like such a hidden gem. And I think if you're not taking advantage of them right now, you're really missing out on a really high turnover tool that you could be using in your business. So there's a lot of different ways to capture emails. You could create a free offer like an ebook or a recipe or maybe a meditation if you're a CBD company. Maybe like you have some guided meditations that you want to share with your audience. So creating a free offer is a really great way to get that email and capture that audience. You can add pop-ups or forms to your website. I'm sure you guys have all seen those. Giveaways are all the rage right now during the holidays. I've been seeing so many giveaways on my Instagram page. So those are really great ways to leverage different audiences as well, depending on if you're going to like partner with somebody on a giveaway. Hosting a free webinar like what we're doing right now. So inviting people to sign up for free events is really great to kind of also like showcase what your business is all about. That's what we're doing with you guys today. We're showcasing what Digital Unicorn can do, what Happy Idaho is moving into, and we're giving you guys all of our secrets that we've started with to help you guys get started. And of course, we have all of our services and offers that you guys will hear about later on. And of course, using social media is a great way. You can grab and share links for email lists on there too. So my favorite email sequences are these ones right here. And I think everybody should probably start with one or all of them. I think a welcome series is really great. So if you have like an online business and somebody has made their first purchase from you, rather than sending them, all of the tracking information and everything that's standard, sending them a welcome series to introduce you and your brand and your product, talk about your why, I feel like is really important. You're more than just a business. You guys are people. So those welcome series emails they can be really powerful. And then moving into abandoned cart emails, these, I don't know if you guys have gotten some of them. I'm sure you have, but they're really common. A lot of times you'll go on a website, they'll have cookies. You will add something to your cart. Maybe you'll start plugging in your information, but you won't hit purchase. Well, they're going to gather that information and you'll be able to use that for an abandoned cart email and say somebody came in and they built a cart. They haven't made a purchase yet. And you can send an email a day later, maybe 2 days later and say, hey, Emily, we would love to get this CBD out to you. We want to help you out, but we realize that you did abandon your cart. So just sending them that reminder that they do want to purchase from you. They just need a little bit of a reminder. Lead nurturing. These are really cool. They're similar kind of to a welcome series, but they're going to help build that relationship with that customer over time. And these can be full of products and services that you offer, but more so you're just trying to be populating in that email. And then of course the thank you emails, those are really important. I think they can be a lot better if they go beyond just kind of what I talked about earlier about that purchase, right? So I think sending out those thank you emails beyond a purchase are going to be really important to building that relationship.
Let me chime in there for 2 seconds here because I want to hammer home the importance of what Annie's talking about with emails that some might say, hey, they're overlooked or they're not needed, etc. Like it's statistically proven that having a strategy in place for utilizing all these different components, email included, can be very beneficial. I just happened to I was looking this up while Annie was talking, and this is a recent stat of this year. It looks like approximately abandoned cart emails have 39% and change open rate and 23.33% click-through rate. Upwards of 20% of those actually turn into purchases. So this literally happened to me today. I was on a website. I was clicking around, or yesterday I'm saying. I forgot about it because I went off and did something else. I got the email today about the supplement that I was actually looking for. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So this actually does work. People live busy lives. They have all kinds of things going on. And using these kind of strategies can help really improve some people that might fall off the map or people that just got disconnected in some way, shape, or form. So good stuff.
That's great. Thank you, Gordy. So again, you guys can tailor these prompts as specific or as general as you want to. We can ask them to write a friendly welcome email for our ideal client, which we did cover above. So What we didn't cover is I like to keep everything in the same ChatGPT chat. Gordy, why is that important?
Oh, to keep organized for one. Two, you can also reference the other information that you had previously, right? So you keep it along the same conversation. Otherwise, you can kind of get mixed up,
Yeah, rather
roundabout.
than starting a new chat every single time you have a question for ChatGPT or a
Hmm.
task for them. And
Yep.
I like to call these my chats my chats. I have all of them labeled as my genies. And that helps me stay organized, but also it keeps all that prior information inside the same chat. So I'm not retraining
Yeah.
the algorithm every single time I go in to talk to them about my business or about
Yeah.
a client's business that I need help with.
One tip here too, that if you wanted to save some time, this is kind of an insider tip, if you would. So some of these prompts that Annie put up top, you can actually tell ChatGPT to remember the prompt and then name it whatever. So if you wanted to name it, you know, Kevin Maloney's cream prompt or whatever, you could tell it to remember that prompt. So the next time you come back and you're going to create a new chat off it, you just reference that. It already knows what it is that you're referring to. As long as you have it saved in your settings to store memory, then it'll just automatically know what that prompt is referring to and pick up from there. So, insider tip.
That's really cool. I love that one. So you can swap out our product that I have highlighted here for a specific product that you have. But right now, we're just going to leave it general and we're going to say our product. ChatGPT knows that we sell CBD tinctures and creams. So we're going to plug this in and they are going to spit us out some really cool emails. So these will be like the bare bones. I like to take these emails as inspiration and then add in like your own voice. You can also if you have prior emails that you've sent out, this is a really cool thing that ChatGPT does too, is you can copy and paste a previous email and put it into ChatGPT and say something along the lines of, this is my brand voice. This is how we advertise and this is how we speak to our customers. You can ask ChatGPT to then give you more emails in that same voice or ask it to, make some updates or add in, something a little bit more funny or more serious. So there's so much that you can do with all of these. But while I was talking to you guys, ChatGPT has been working on all of these emails. So I think he's done. There we go. So while I was talking to you guys, we just got all these emails spit out to us. And so you can see some of these are a little short. So that's where I would go in and add in a little bit more of a blurb about your business. So we've got our thank you email with an upsell. We've got a sequence here. This is our lead nurturing email sequence. So you have a new customer, maybe they got a freebie from you. This is a really great way to throw them into the lead nurturing email sequence. They're showing interest. They signed up for a freebie or they gave you their email in a giveaway or a webinar or somewhere along the way. And you can start nurturing that lead to educate them about CBD, about your business, and then eventually turn them into a customer or a client or somebody that you can help. We've got some abandoned cart email sequences that Gordy was talking about earlier. So those are really awesome. Overcoming hesitation, right? Are you hesitating? You need some help deciding. Let's make this easy. You guys, ChatGPT really takes a lot of the creative brain power that sometimes gets us stuck on creating. It takes that away and it gives you some really awesome content to get started. So that's your email sequences. You guys just got 1, 2, 3, 4 email sequences in the matter of a few minutes. So that is so awesome. You guys can start plugging and playing with those when we get off the call. Now we're going to run into SEO blog prompts with keywords. So this is point number 4 on your PDF. And Gordy's going to walk us through some really cool tools. There's paid versions of these tools, but there's also free versions that we're going to introduce you guys to. So you guys can get started creating that content that really is heavy in SEO.
Yeah, thanks, Annie. So let's go ahead and shift gears a little bit here because we're gonna prepare what it looks like to actually not just write a blog post, but do it with specific intention. And so you got to know what it is that you're targeting, right? Because that's the easiest way to get people to find what it is that you're looking for is doing it in a way that you're creating it and crafting it based on what people are already searching for. Okay. And that's kind of a reversed engineering way of doing it that sometimes we don't think about. And so I'm going to give you an example here, since we're kind of in this lane of creams here, and I'll have to get the right terminology here, but I'm going to find me, I'm doing this real time, guys, so I could show you. And I'm just going to bring this up. So if this is you as a company owner, if you own this company, this is just us doing a test on this, giving some secrets of how to tap into your competitors and what to do here. So I just Googled here, you know, CBD pain relief cream, Idaho. Okay. And I found, I don't know if you're familiar with this one, Annie, are you? Canyon CBD. Ever heard of it?
I'm not.
Okay. I haven't heard either. So don't know who it is, but we're just going to test it out here. So looks like they do similar, right? Some kind of products with tinctures, etc. I don't know the whole logistics of it, but we're going to say hypothetically this is a company that manufactures similar, maybe in your same geographic region. You're like, hey, I want to know what I need to target here. So we're going to use a tool here some of you may or may not have heard of. And again, Annie's point, there is a free version of this. There's a paid version of it. I have a paid version of it. But within this tool called UberSuggest, you're able to actually go in there and get some basic statistics, even from the paid version of it. Okay, I can see how much traffic they're getting. I can see what keywords that are organic, domain authority, backlinks. I'm not going to go into the details of what each of these specific stats are. We'll deep dive into this on a subsequent webinar if you want to deep dive into it. But we're going to take an example here of showing what kind of keywords that maybe this company's ranking for. And I'll expand on this list here so I can see the whole 9 yards. And then Annie, I think I'm going to need your help to figure out which one we should actually go for. Any of these keywords that look familiar, sound familiar to Kevin's products or services? And if not, we can just pick one.
Okay. Chronic candy lollipops. That's not, Kevin doesn't have those, but that sounds interesting.
Okay.
Let's see. Anything on creams or tinctures?
Let's see. So we got this sounds like a cream. Best CBD lube, I'm guessing. We can
Might be a
keep.
little
Okay, we'll
for
keep.
adults.
Yeah. Oh, there's. See, sleep aids,
Oh,
slumber
let's
and
do a
sleep aid.
sleep aid. Yeah.
Okay. So just to give you an idea here, as I'm kind of drilling down in here, as you can see, it'll tell you some details, right? So you got volume, which shows you how much of this is showing up in search results. I'm doing it by this particular company, so you can see where they're positioned at. You can see how much they're actually getting, how much of that traffic they're getting, which nothing, right? And then search difficulty, which tells you how hard it is to rank for this, not just organically, but from a paid standpoint as well. So this one's a relatively non-competitive verb, or not verb, but phrase here, keyword, okay? Key phrase. So we're going to take that keyword and we're going to use this other tool. It's actually a sister company to this called Answer the Public. And we're going to put this in here and just kind of see what results we get from it. So it's going to bring in a series of questions, prepositions, etc., that people are actually searching for on the web. And you'll be able to see a breakdown of this. Okay. So again, this wasn't a highly searched for topic, but still there's, 70 searches for this. Tells you what it would cost per click roughly to do ads on this. So if you can do this organically, then great. And here's a question or preposition. Slumber sleep aid CBN tincture for sleep. Okay. So that's an example of something. Now, if this was a highly searched key phrase, you're going to see a bunch of these that come up. Okay. So we're just going to use this particular key phrase. All right. I'm going to give this to Annie in the chat. Okay. And Annie's going to use that now. And you'll want to share your screen too again, because I think it came off.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Let me know when you're ready here.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So again, we're kind of reverse engineering the process here, right? Again, you're finding out your target audience. You're figuring out now what your target audience is searching for. And based on what they're searching for, you're creating the content, right? Versus trying to create something that you're hoping and wishing that they're looking for, throwing it against the wall and hoping it sticks. We're doing it the exact opposite way. So Annie's going to now share what we're going to create from that particular key phrase.
Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. My My keyboard just turned off. So I just got it plugged back in. So Slumber Sleep Aid CBN. Okay, so we're going to go back to our prompt PDF, and we're talking about repurposing this content. So we're going to write a blog first, and then we're going to ask ChatGPT to repurpose that into content for us. So I'm going to grab that blog post prompt, and we're going to ask them to write a 1,500 word blog about, I'm going to grab that, slumber. Gordy, do you want me to put slumber in the topic or the keyword here?
Let's do it leave it in the keyword phrase. So slumber,
Okay.
sleep aid, CBN. So yeah, we'll want to leave it specific to what the key phrase was and let this take it and adjust it as it needs to.
Okay. So I'm going to ask them to write a post about CBN with subheadings optimized for sleep aid CBN. Do you like that, Gordy?
Yeah, let's see. Write a 1,500 word blog about CBN with optimized for. I'd put for keyword and then slumber, sleep aid in like quotations or brackets.
Okay.
Yep.
All
That'll
right.
close the loop there. Bam. There you go.
It's working. Y'all, this is awesome. So now without even having to sit down and write a whole blog, you've got something here that you can read through. I always say this is a great place to get started.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely always read through these blogs to make sure that they line up, that they're correct before you just go start posting these on the internet.
Yeah. It's a great starting point. But yeah, you can definitely either refine what you see here in this tool, or within our tool, we do the same thing within Digital Unicorn. We use AI to go ahead and change the voice or change the focus, etc. And there's all kinds of different tools out there that you can use. Grammarly is another one if you haven't heard of that one. But yeah, good starting point. Great starting point. Because how long would this take somebody to actually write? Like I write and I like to write. And something like this would take me a while, to write. But here you got a nice format to start with.
Yeah. So while that's working, just take a look at these other prompts that we have. So you can even have ChatGPT generate meta descriptions or alt text for images that you have. Gordy is going to show us how to do that later on, or at least like show you where that alt text is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also have them suggest high ranking keywords for your industry. So you could either go to answertothepublic.com or you could ask ChatGPT. Answer to the Public is probably going to be a little bit more real time. Right, Gordy? That'll probably be a little bit more beneficial than ChatGPT, or the way that ChatGPT is growing so fast. Like, is there one that's more beneficial in your opinion, Gordy?
I'm always a fan of saying, hey, based on what you are comfortable with mastering, I'm more of a fan of mastering, a couple tools rather than going to 10 different tools that you haven't quite figured out yet completely. And you're just kind of patching stuff up together. So I would say find the tool that works for you, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Google's, whether it's whatever. Find one that works for you and get comfortable with it. Use it enough times where you get reps under your belt and then use that. That's my food for thought.
That's good. I like that. Okay, so this is our blog. We've got that. Now we're going to grab another prompt and we're going to ask ChatGPT to turn this blog into, we're going to repurpose this content into infographics, carousels, and reels. And this is going to help give you guys a lot more content ideas. If you're building a content calendar, you can also fine tune this to like fit how many times a week that you want to post. So you could ask ChatGPT to turn this blog into infographics, carousels, and reels for the next month, for the next week. You can even ask them if you want like 1 or 2 infographics and 3 carousels and 5 reels. Maybe you post 5 reels a week and 3 carousels, where you can really fine tune this prompt to fit inside your content calendar that you have set up. And you can also, as we talked about earlier, specifically ask ChatGPT to model this for whatever social media platform you're using it for, because they all have different algorithms. They all rank content differently. So just from that little prompt, we are going to have all of this information that we can now plug into Canva or CapCut or Adobe, whatever platform you're using to create your content. You now have so many things, so much content ideas to get you started. So all these carousels, this is probably my favorite way to make carousels because ChatGPT will break down each slide for you. Sometimes they'll even give you ideas of photos or videos to use in the reel. So for instance, I've seen where they'll have a carousel where, slide one is like struggling to sleep. Let's talk about CBN. And it even goes a little bit further and they'll say, okay, put a picture of somebody sleeping in bed or somebody frustrated, maybe drinking a cup of tea before bed. So they can go a lot more in depth. You can ask ChatGPT to, help you with captions and slide design beyond this. And then it gives you some reels. So it even put in hooks for you and even gave us some call to actions. So I love this prompt. This really helps making content a lot easier. And ChatGPT asked you, would you like help creating templates or scripts for any specific post? So it's prompting you. Do you need more help? Mm-hmm. So I gave you a couple more prompts on how to repurpose that. And then some blog titles, of course, that you guys could use. So you guys can go even further on repurposing all of this stuff. We've given you more prompts here, more suggestions. So from those blogs, you can make Instagram reels, infographics, and then it's endless, you guys. You can turn those into newsletters, into email sequences. There's so much that you can do here. One of the websites that I really like too is app.infography. You guys have this as well. Gordy just showed this to me. Am I using this right, Gordy? Infographic maker.
Yeah, it just didn't pull up the URL. Copy and paste it up. I think it did it as a search.
Is it infographic or infography?
It is. Here, 2 seconds and I'll tell you.
I was just looking at this the other day.
It is app.infography.in.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a cool tool. I mean, it's, all these tools, they're on a use case by use case basis, right? Whatever's going to be best for you. But this gives you an option to be able to take an existing blog that you've published and then turn it into an infographic. And if it doesn't quite match it up how you want it, well, you can take it into another tool like Canva, for example, and repurpose it like you want to. So in this case, we could try it real time if you want to, Annie. If you want to go to
yeah, should I grab one of these, or does it need?
Let's pull in an existing blog somewhere. So just let's open up another tab. Go to Google, and put blog on, and then paste that. Yeah, paste the keyword that you used. And then there's a blog. That first one, I think, right, is a blog. Is that? Oh, there you go. Copy that URL. Yep. Let's use that one. Let's see what we come up with here. Real time, folks. So we'll see how this goes. So we give it a few seconds here. It's usually pretty quick. But what it's going to do, it's going to give you a couple variations of information from that specific blog in an infographic. So then you can turn that and share it as a social post. You could turn that and use it for a story. You could turn it and use it for an email. There's so many different ways that you can repurpose the content here. And so as you can see in the time that we were just talking there, it turned that into an infographic, right? And if you don't like what you see there because you're like, not the colors I want, not the brand, etc., that's cool. You can take the information and I would just repurpose it in another tool like Canva. But it did a lot of the heavy lifting for you, because the point of what we're doing here is to help you streamline your work, right? And to help alleviate some of the heavy load that it takes to do content, that it takes to create content. And as you can see, we're using these different tools to speed up the process, to give us ideas, to help research, to make life easier is really what it's about.
Mm-hmm. All right. We got 10 minutes here. We give you guys a lot of information.
Yeah, that was going quick. So let's see. What do I want to jump into? We could do we could show them the thumbnails. We didn't do a thumbnail for a blog. I can show them how to create one.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to show them Firefly real quick?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Cool.
So some of you might have been familiar with this. For anybody that's attended, a previous workshop with me, you've probably heard of this or watched us use it in the past because we've done that. We've used it in the other workshops here. But we're going to use Adobe Firefly to create just a thumbnail, right? So here in the prompt, I use that same keyword and I just changed the dimension so it's in landscape view. You have different effects that you can use here. You can get really nuanced if you want to. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but let's just use that keyword and see what we get out of this. And it's kind of scary looking. I'm gonna take the misty effect here or painting, and let's just do something that's more realistic here. And let's see. And Annie, maybe you can help me with the verbiage here because it's gonna do what we tell it to do. Okay. So is that anything close to it? Probably not, huh? No? Yay? Nay?
I mean, it's close.
Is
Yeah,
it?
top
Okay.
left. Yeah.
So let's do this. We're going to generate some other ones that are similar to that and see what we get. Okay. Maybe we're getting closer.
I think bottom left.
Bottom left, probably the closest.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So as you can see in here, I'm going to just keep it moving here. We're going to keep going down the rabbit hole and see what we get. Okay. Well, maybe one of these works. Let's just say this one is the one we go for. We can upload the resolution. We can upscale it so it looks a little bit more crisp. Bam, there you go. And now you got a potential thumbnail that you can just download and use as a thumbnail for the blog post. Okay. And then what else we want to do from here? Annie, do we want to take that blog post and do anything else with it? What do we have on here?
Let's see. Let me open up my prompts. I'll write a 60-second script summarizing our blog topic for a social media reel.
Oh, yeah.
So you could even generate a cover photos on that app on Firefly if you wanted to too. So you guys have a pretty good understanding of how you guys can use these prompts and repurpose them. How you can repurpose all of your content. So as we get wrapped up here, did you guys have any questions? I guess, Gordy, I think I covered a lot of what I want to cover.
Yeah.
Did we
Well,
miss anything?
we got a short window here. I think we answered the questions that were dropped real time in the chat here. But you know what I think I'll do just for funsies, since we got about 5-ish minutes left. Can you drop for me that link of the chat that you're working on?
Oh, totally.
And then I'm going to show you how we put this into practice, like real time. Okay. I'll just do it in the private chat though. We'll do. There we go. All right. So guys, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to basically take everything that Annie created within this chat. Okay. Or not everything, because we don't have enough time for that. But I'm going to put this into, let's just say, a blog post. Okay. So let me come back up and find it. Find the blog. Where's the blog?
Oh, it's like a short little blurb. It's right above the
Here we go.
infographics.
Yep, I found it. Okay. So we're going to jump into, all right. So we're going to jump into the tool that I had mentioned at the beginning here, which is called Digital Unicorn. Okay. And within here, I'm not going to go through all the details of what this tool does. It's a holistic powerhouse, though. I mean, everything from email marketing to blogging to site creation, funnel creation, social media management, automations, AI, the whole 9 yards. Okay. We're not going to go into all of it. I'm just going to show you one example in the few minutes we got left here. And I got a demo account here that I created a blog for. Okay. We're just going to pretend this is the blog that we're going to create a new post for. So we're going to generate this, and I'm using everything that Annie generated already from the prompts that she did. Actually, I'm going to use this one. This one looks fun right here. I'm going to do this one instead. Okay. And I'm going to show you what we do with this. So I'm going to download this so I could use it as the thumbnail too. Okay. We're going to use that for the thumbnail.
This is really cool. So even if you guys have a product and you don't have maybe you don't have a marketing or advertising budget to hire a professional photographer, you can use AI to help you guys generate product photos. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I'm actually we're going to do this real time here. I'm just going to use this old chat that we had open here. Okay. I'm going to tell it to, let's see, write alt text and description for this image. And so for those of you that are unaware of this, basically we're optimizing even the image for SEO purposes, right? We want Google to be able to understand what this image is, and it's all cased in the back end. So when people are actually searching for these things, they're also being able to share that because of the image and description here, or the alt text and description that we gave Google to recognize. Okay, so we're going to use this. We're going to create the post from it, and bam, right off the bat, we got a new blog post getting created here. This is going to be just a blank template here. There's nothing fancy here going on. But what we then take, okay, we're going to come back in here and
I love that blog title too. Top 5 reasons. Gets right to the point, and it's short and concise. I like that.
yeah. So we could do a couple of things. I'm waiting for my end to generate because I didn't generate it right off the bat. But if I was to do a tool like this, our tool has AI built into it. We could actually generate the content in here. Okay. And we'd say, okay, we're going to do maybe an introduction here. Content title. What was I using before? We said
Top 5 reasons CBN is your new sleep aid.
okay.
Sleep aid.
So I'm doing this real time. So don't get mad at me if I'm not right on the money here with all this. Okay. And keyword CBN. Okay. I'm going to say we're going to do this in a sarcastic tone. I just feel like being sarcastic right now. So we're going to do that. Okay. We're going to let that punt through while my ChatGPT is finishing up this blog post. Looks like it's about done. Okay. So bam, they give me a intro now. I'm going to go ahead and copy that, insert that. And as you can see, that bad boy is done. And then now my ChatGPT finished up. So if I was to paste the rest of this in here, bam, I got the rest of my blog post in here, right? You can add images. You can do the rest of it as you see fit. Okay. I'm actually going to,
minutes.
in a matter of minutes. Yeah. So see, it just expedites the process. I'm going to save that for future reference. Okay. You see how easy it is to do this. And bam, you know what? I finished with a minute left. How wonderful is that? That's cool. Finished with a minute left. On the money. But guys, we're going to respect your time and let you get off with the rest of your day here. Annie, thank you so much for joining us on this workshop. What a wonderful session. Tons of insight, tons of information that we can practically put to use here. We hope you guys got a ton out of this. We want to keep you connected with us here because we want to keep sharing information, keep sharing knowledge, etc. At the bottom of that PDF, if you haven't noticed already, Annie has some other resources. Okay, you can join a community that she has access to. You can get the content calendar, which if you use the code webinar, discount code webinar, you get 50% off of that purchase. And Annie spent a ton of time putting this stuff together. So for what you'd be able to pick it up, it's nothing, right? Pennies on the dollar.
Absolutely.
Any other words that you got?
I'm so excited for you guys to start creating content. I want to see what you guys make. So reach out to us on socials, reach out to us on emails. You guys have all of our contact info. If you guys have any questions beyond this, reach out. We're here to help you. We don't want to gatekeep. We guys want to see you guys all build some incredible content. We want to read those blogs. We want to get those welcome emails. So excited to see what you guys make moving forward. We're going to be doing more of these in the future. We don't have any dates set, but 2025 is going to be a lot of fun. So if you guys enjoyed this one, stay up to date with us.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And as a final plug for the tool software that you see me using, digitalunicorn.social. If you want to get the hookup on that, feel free to text the word hookup to that number, 208-679-5900. You already got the number probably because if you registered for this, you got the number, and we'll give you the super duper hookup, no doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you next time.